Really excited to be here. OpenClaw, I've been running it in my business since January. I know there's a lot of risks involved, but I have a security background. So a lot of the things that I end up doing, I apply my security knowledge to it. I don't advise anyone to do it, but if you are, I know there was a question over here because somebody wanted to test it, right? This is a Raspberry Pi, costs $35, connected to your monitor, keyboard. You can run it on one of these. Completely offline. There's no model being trained. There's no ChatGPT connection or anything like that. So there are different ways you guys can run these models offline where there's no internet connection at all. So let me, get started. My name is Antonio. I run MomandPop.AI. Right now, my focus is with accounting firms. I do a lot of their automation, where it's reconciliation engines, and everything I do revolves around AI. Tomer introduced me to Tal last week, and luckily Tomer knows that I'm obsessed with AI and OpenClaw. So he made the connection, and here we are today. So the way I'm running my OpenClaw is as an operations layer of my company. So just imagine you wake up in the morning and you're running your own business and you don't want to have to dig through your email, calendar, what you have to do that day. So the way I use it, it's like a productivity booster every morning, never fails. Okay, so every morning I wake up and I digest of all my emails, calendar events, client emails, anything that's critical. Since I'm in development, a lot of the things I do revolve around coding and GitHub. If anybody knows what GitHub is, it's difficult to explain. But it's basically where the code resides for versions of the code. If anything happens overnight and there's any critical alerts, like recently I think there was like a Vercel hack or something like that, I got an alert immediately in the morning. Hey, check your clients, rotate all your keys, and boom, we're good to go. So let me, get started on the demo here. I pre-recorded it just for the sake of time. Oops. I'm running my bot off of Telegram also. The recording's off my iPhone. So here we go. My bot's name is Data because I'm a Trekkie. If any Trekkies out there, no? Oh, one guy, okay. So every morning I wake up. This is automatic. For the demo, I actually have to paste it in because it was at the time of day. It was around 3 p.m. when I recorded it today. Here we go. Run my morning ops and obviously remove any client info because this is a production and live environment. And obviously I don't want to leak any client info anywhere here. I run it off my Mac Mini. I have 3 of these at home that I orchestrate through my Mac Mini. So what that means is there's a very specific use for each individual OpenClaw. So my main one is my main orchestrator, business partner, mind partner, whatever you want to call it. I feed it all my info. It did research on Tal before I even met him. So, and actually, I did a lot of research. So I actually gave it access to the Luma event and it grabbed everyone's names in here. And it actually already qualified some of you as a good partner for me to, do some business with. So you can see it's running. Let me see, I can pause it real quick. Let me see if I can go. All right, let me go slowly. So as you can see, this runs every morning around 7 a.m. It has access to my inbox. It triages my inbox in 3 different ways. It looks for new emails. It looks for anything I've not opened, any unanswered emails, and anything critical as part of my infrastructure. So here we go. It gives me the rundown basically for my day. And there you go. Get the event for tonight right there. Picked it up. 10 in the morning, I build. I'm always building something with AI. So if you're into building, we should definitely connect after this. And then it just goes through my entire inbox, calendar. It cross-references all my other tool stacks. So if you have Zoom meeting transcripts, anything like that, I pull the transcripts from there, and I already have basic notes of what I'm doing with this client. There's no issues with my memory because that's my biggest issue, right? Oh, I talked to this client and I forget. I'm sure everyone here is the same, right? So the way I run it, you press play. It runs my morning ops. It does several things too. I have access to all of my clients' data. It's always analyzing for things to improve in their solutions I built for them. And by the way, this is running completely at home. There's no service. I'm not paying anyone. It costs less than a ChatGPT subscription. So if you're thinking about it, it's really a personalized agent at home at all times. Right now, I was checking my calendar for tomorrow. That was the next question right here. What do I have on my plate for tomorrow? As you can see, it'll start spitting out stuff. I don't have any client info, but if you're in front of your computer, everything's personalized to you. So like, tomorrow you're meeting up with Tomer and you need to discuss whatever, right? So this is basically the way I'm using it is my operation layer. By the way, any questions before I continue? Claude can do all this. Yeah, Cowork can do all this as well. Yeah. So Cowork actually inspired by this project. Just so you guys are aware, there's a race right now happening, right? So the creator of OpenClaw, Peter Steinberger, got acquired, or he got hired by OpenAI. And it's a race right now to see who builds the next OpenClaw for enterprise. Meaning like, you pay $20 a month, here you go. And actually a couple of days ago, they announced something with agents, but it's only available to enterprise. So it's pretty much out of the budget for most people, unless you have some sort of enterprise that you're running and you're already a part of the program. But yeah, you're 100% right. Claude is running all of this already, and it's a race. How much do they cost? they're right now, they're actually running inside my business. So I've allocated each one to each use case for clients. So my main orchestrator data is the one, I just literally send it a voice message and it'll delegate. So from my end, I'm kind of technical. So the way I send it the messages is extremely precise and, it's able to take action, write some code, deploy to Vercel and Whisper. Yeah. No, Twilio. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not there yet with the voice agents. They're definitely there in the technology. I personally like to connect with my clients myself, but the rest of the tedious stuff, like the tedious stuff you guys hate to do, just delegate to this little box right here, sitting at home, $35, you can't go wrong. And by the way, if you do plan on buying one of these, don't give it full access to your email. I would set up a separate email and then go from there, experiment or anything like that. Yes. So it depends. I have it set up where different crons are scheduled tasks, hit different models. On my Mac Mini at home, I'm running Ollama. Ollama is an open source model. And I'm running it with, I think currently I'm running it with Quen, is a Chinese model that runs offline. So there is a risk, but there's very little risk that it'll leak anything back to China. The model runs on my Mac Mini. The Raspberry Pis connect to my Mac Mini and they get their instructions from my Mac Mini. The Raspberry Pi, it's running its own OpenClaw. It's a very specific use case because I don't want to basically run the entire business in just one because of hallucination. Somebody was talking about it earlier. It happens. I've seen it myself. So the reason I started to play with the little cheap, hardware, it's a no-brainer. One client, buy another one. Another client, buy another one. And then I have my master data bot here that knows how to orchestrate to these other ones. And actually, I had my data set up 2 of these by itself. So it does a lot of things that are technical to a lot of people where you're, confused faces here. It's a Raspberry Pi. Yes. That's USB slots here, HDMI, has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. Yeah, question in the back. I think I have it on here for you. Hang on. Right. For example, like morning ops, it's nothing like I need the latest and greatest model for. It's just going in my inbox and contextualizing what's important for me. There's different models that can do that for free. So for those type of tasks, I outsource them to the free models on the Raspberry Pis. For anything that's critical, like code, or I'm touching a code base on a client or a database, obviously I will use the Mac Mini. So I delegate, let me see, is it on the screen? Yeah. So this is the way I have it set up. The main orchestrator, the OpenClaw, and then there's a bunch of other Pis in here. One for memory, an edge case Pi, ingestion Pi, and an operation Pi. Exactly. Yeah. One thing I don't think we mentioned real quick, when you're setting up OpenClaw, the onboarding process, it gives you a way to give it a mission. And my mission was to operate inside my company and make me money. So it's 100% working for me. And it saves me time every morning. I don't have to wrestle with my customers or follow up with them. It'll reach back to me. And even draft messages, simple stuff that Claude can do or ChatGPT can do, but it'll proactively do it for me. Like I don't have to hey, oh man, I got to reply to John this today. No, my draft is sitting there for me based on the previous conversation and the way I talk. It learns the way you talk, and it doesn't sound like ChatGPT. Any more questions? And if anyone wants to connect, by the way, I'm going to put my QR code on the screen if anybody wants to just scan it. I'll be honest, I use Claude every day. I use all the new stuff in the same way I'm using it here because I'm testing both use cases. I'm seeing what Claude's doing, and I like it a lot because they're very security oriented. And I think eventually OpenClaw, from what I read, they're partnering up with Microsoft, Tencent, and a bunch of other companies to get that enterprise feel to it. But you're 100% right. There's a competition. It's right on their tail.
It's okay. Just finish your...
On OpenClaw, you can integrate with anything. I'm talking about things that even an API does not exist for. So yeah, that's like a lot of things in restrictions and stuff like that. But yeah, OpenClaw is open. Thank you guys. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.